The word for you today, it is April 5th. It's a Friday. We're going to be at the very beginning of the book of Joshua. Now, little book that you guys have, if you don't have one, feel free to pick one up in the office. It only looks at verse 2, but I want to look at the whole thing because it's hard to separate this encouragement to Joshua that the Lord is speaking about. Now let's go ahead and read that together. I'm going to read verses 1 all the way through verse 9. It says, "After the death of Moses, the Lord's servant, the Lord spoke to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' assistant. Moses, my servant, is dead. Now you and all the people prepare to cross over the Jordan to the land I am giving to the Israelites. I have given you every place where the sole of your foot treads, just as I promised Moses. Your territory will be from the wilderness and Lebanon to the great river, the Euphrates River, all the land of the Hittites, and west to the Mediterranean Sea. No one will be able to stand against you as long as you live. I will be with you, just as I was with Moses. I will not leave you or abandon you." Verse 6 says, "Be strong and courageous, for you will distribute the land I swore to their ancestors to give them as an inheritance. Above all, be strong and very courageous to observe carefully the whole instruction my servant Moses commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right or the left, so that you will have success wherever you go. This book of instruction must not depart from your mouth. You are to meditate on it day and night, so that you may carefully observe everything written in it. For then you will prosper and succeed in whatever you do. Haven't I commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Now, I love this scripture. I love this encouragement. It's specifically to Joshua as he is leading the Israelite people into the promised land, but I believe that it also speaks to us. Now, if you remember a little bit of context, a little bit of history, this is coming like hot off the end of the Torah. The book of the law, it's where the Israelites, they are finally entering the promised land. God promised this land to their ancestors, and he delivered them from Egypt through incredible power and miracles. And then as they were traveling through the wilderness, they failed to trust and failed to believe in God's strength. Now, they did several other things. They turned against them. They made idols. They grumbled against Moses, who had been chosen by God to lead them. There were lots of issues. But the biggest issue came when they sent 12 spies into the promised land. There were 12 in total. 2 of them were Joshua and Caleb. Joshua and Caleb, they were faithful to the Lord. They came back and they encouraged the people. They say, the land is exactly as God promised. It's flowing with milk and honey. Let's go. The Lord is with us, and we will take the promised land just as he promised we would. But the other 10, they came back and reported the people of the land are strong. They're giants. We have no chance of defeating them. And in saying that, what they're saying is, yes, we can't defeat them, but they're also saying the God we rely on can't defeat them. And so there's this struggle. And in Numbers 14:11, God is responding to these people, and he says, "How long," speaking to Moses about them, he says, "how long will they refuse to believe in me? Despite all the miraculous signs I have performed among them, I will strike them down with a plague and destroy them." God is so angry that they won't trust and believe in him. Despite all the deliverance, despite these incredible miracles, he says, "I'm wiping them out." Moses, he intercedes for his people. He asks God for mercy, and God graciously allows his people to enter the promised land, but only after this generation, the generation that grumbled, the generation that said, God's not powerful enough, only after they had passed away. And so when we get to this encouragement for Joshua, those people, the people who turned against God, they are gone. And it's the next generation. And what God is asking Joshua to do, commanding him to do. He says, be strong and courageous. And why does he say that? He says, because I'm going to be with you. It says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. He's saying, be different than the last people. The last people did not trust in my power. They were afraid. They were not courageous because they didn't believe that I could deliver them as I had before. But he's telling Joshua, I am not lacking in power for you. He says, I am not lacking. My arm is not too short. I promised you I would never forsake you. I would never leave you. Now do what I tell you to do and go. I promised it to you, and I will deliver you. I am your God. And so as we look at this command for Joshua, what he's saying is, even when things look difficult, he's saying, trust in me. Trust in my power. Be strong and courageous, not because you can do it, but because I can do it. And though this is written in a specific context, a specific world, at a specific time, it's something that we have to latch on to in everything that we do, whether we're just going through life day to day, whether we're looking forward to something big, or maybe we're in the middle of an incredible storm and we don't know which way is up. What God is telling Joshua and telling to us, trust me, be strong and courageous because I am with you. It's not your strength that you're relying on, it's mine. You're not courageous because you're strong. You're courageous because I'm the one standing in front of you. This is the command to Joshua, and this is the command that we have to latch on to as well. So no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are in your life, you can trust God right now because it's His power and it's His strength that we latch on to. Have a great day.